to me, it's a philosophy. It's an outlook. In this age of, we want everything now, we want everything quick, when life is everything but that.
It has been brought to my attention by reliable individuals that the Obamas are in the process of obtaining a divorce. I'm referring to journalists who are of the highest caliber who have informed me that they have heard that the rumors about Obama's divorce are accurate. Imagine that love does not always last forever. It has come as a shock to the entire world that Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, the couple that everyone admired, have decided to divorce.
So we would have these deep discussions about whether marriage was really necessary, if two people really loved each other, and he would make his lawyerly arguments, and I would be irritated.
A sudden occurrence, or had the signs been present from the beginning? There is a lot of speculation going on, and the internet is flooded with rumors. But what exactly is the truth? Please come along with us as we delve deeper into this shocking breakup and uncover the truth behind the reasons behind their breakup. You should make sure that you do not overlook the specifics that everyone is discussing. It is common for the internet to be filled with speculation and rumors when gossip becomes the truth. Everyone is aware of a famous person's behavior when they deviate from their typical pattern. People started talking about Michelle Obama after she took a break from attending major public events. When I first asked it, it was a straightforward inquiry. Have you seen Michelle? The fascination with social media, on the other hand, does not remain harmless for very long. The rumor begins on a small scale, but it quickly gains momentum, accumulating beliefs, and before long, it becomes a significant one. Since the beginning, Michelle has been a consistent supporter of Barack. Not only were they married, but they were also a significant couple in the history of the United States. There was a noticeable shift in public attention when Barack Obama started attending significant events by himself. In spite of the fact that there was no concrete evidence to back up their claims, they started making connections. A plethora of ideas were shared on social media. Was Michelle avoiding the attention of the general public? Was there a cause for concern in their marriage? Whenever she went missing, it seemed like more evidence was being gathered. Any picture that did not include her became evidence. After that, there was a high demand for wedding rings. It was observed that Barack was not wearing a ring when he attended an event. There shouldn't have been any issues with it. Rings can be removed for a myriad of different reasons. Only one thing could be interpreted from it in the context of internet rumors: to divorce. Quickly, screenshots spread across the internet. Comments such as, "He always wore it before, so why wasn't he wearing it now?" were posted alongside photographs of his previous outfits. A misplaced ring was the sudden solution to everything. There was a more stringent search conducted. They went back and looked at old conversations, paying close attention to Michelle's words as if they contained some sort of secret meaning. A speech that she gave many years ago about how marriage is a difficult job has been brought up again, and it is now considered to be a warning sign. A picture of her traveling by herself while on vacation. Without a doubt, she was getting ready for life after Barack became president. Forget the fact that she was always self-sufficient, that she traveled by herself, and that she frequently discussed the idea of following her own path. Suddenly, everything took on a new significance that was in line with what people desired to believe. There was more to social media than simply sharing stories. It involved the creation of something that people thought was true. A fuzzy photograph of Michelle that was taken by paparazzi in a different city became the subject of a news article. Michelle is going to be leaving. She made the decision to focus on her own projects, which she now sees as a way to put some distance between herself and Muhammad. Because of their silence, the situation became even more dire. People tend to come up with their own answers when they are without answers. There are millions of people who are curious about what actually took place behind closed doors after the Obamas broke up. You may be taken aback by the whole truth, an excursion through the ages. Before they became known as the Obamas, they were just two individuals who were driving themselves to achieve their goals at different points in their lives. Michelle Robinson, a skilled attorney, was selected to instruct a summer intern at Sidley Austin in Chicago in the year 1989. The individual in question was Barack Obama, a law student at Harvard who possessed a cool attitude, a plan for change, and a lot of significant ideas. In the beginning, Michelle had some reservations. In contrast to the other men she had worked with in the past, Barack was a standout. Beyond his own accomplishments, he had a strong sense of purpose that he felt compelled to fulfill. He had the desire to make a positive impact on the lives of others. As more time passed, the conversations took on a deeper significance. Family, politics, and other social issues were topics that they discussed for hours. What started out as a professional relationship eventually developed into a personal friendship that is founded on shared principles and mutual respect for one another. They tied the knot in the year 1992. Their wedding was uncomplicated. However, it was significant because it demonstrated how grounded they are in life. Although marriage is a source of happiness, it is not without its share of challenges. While Barack was intent on advancing his political career, Michelle was more concerned with her own professional endeavors. The two of them wanted to build a future together, but it was difficult for them to balance their relationship with their professional and personal obligations. The circumstances became more challenging after Barack made the decision to enter politics. Long hours, a significant amount of travel, and time away from home were all required for the campaigns. Even though it was difficult, Michelle was able to assist him. In 1996, when he was elected to the Illinois State Senate, the couple had already welcomed their first child, a daughter named Malia. Meanwhile, Michelle was juggling the demands of her job and being a mother, while Barack was focusing more of his attention on his political business. They encountered obstacles, but they persisted and maintained their concentration on the objectives they shared. Things were different in the year 2004. Immediately following his speech at the Democratic National Convention, Barack became well known throughout the entirety of the United States. It was as if their lives were suddenly made public. Everybody was welcome to participate. The people, the media, and the politicians were all paying close attention to what was going on. Every decision, every comment, and every moment that occurred during their marriage became a topic of conversation. Obama made a bid for the presidency in the year 2008. This was a moment of great importance. Once upon a time, Michelle was hesitant about being in the spotlight, but she eventually became an integral part of the effort. She engaged in conversations with individuals, engaged in conversations with voters, and exerted a great deal of effort in order to assist him in accomplishing his objectives. However, the pressure was extremely intense. In addition to politics, running for president was about other things. In addition to that, it was about how things appeared, about family, and about adapting to constant attention. All of the actions were scrutinized. Each and every argument was exaggerated to an extreme degree. Maintaining their unity and dedication to completing the mission was a priority for them. It was a momentous occasion indeed when Barack Obama was elected president. As the first black family to hold the presidency, the Obamas are a symbol of both hope and progress. However, the significance of the White House was larger than the majority of people were able to comprehend. This was not merely a matter of politics. I had the feeling that I was constantly being watched and evaluated. While facing the challenges that come with being the First Lady, Michelle prioritized causes that were important to her, such as promoting healthy lifestyles, providing assistance to military families, and promoting education. There were times when life was difficult behind closed doors. To hold the presidency, individuals were required to make decisions. The constant responsibilities of running a country, along with the long nights and busy plans, reached a point where they became overwhelming. Michelle was a lawyer in the past, and she had her own career and an independent personality. At this point, she was required to alter her responsibilities. While she was supporting Barack, she was also in the process of figuring out who she was as an individual during that time. Resigning from the White House in 2017 was a mixture of happiness and the process of adjusting to a new environment. They had been in the public eye of American politics for 8 years, and now they were entering a new state of affairs. The book was written by Barack. Michelle penned the book Becoming, in which she detailed her life and experiences that went beyond her role as the president's wife. They contributed to the Obama Foundation, which is an organization that focuses on leadership and bringing about change. On the other hand, things had shifted. The power couple that was Michelle and Barack Obama was no longer the only ones they were. They were two individuals whose identities, interests, and objectives were undergoing transformations. Her goal was to assist women in becoming more powerful, gaining knowledge, and developing personally. Barack made a concerted effort to continue shaping policies and taking the lead in politics. Despite the fact that they continued to support one another, their relationship turned out to be quite different. Despite the fact that Michelle and Barack Obama had built a life together, unexpected events occurred. In reality, what took place behind closed or locked doors whenever they decided to go in different directions. The dissolution of a marriage that has been plagued by a number of challenges over the course of its existence does not occur in a single instant. It develops gradually, on a bit-by-bit basis, through straightforward realizations, shifting objectives, and thoughts that are not shared. The decision that Michelle and Barack Obama made to end their marriage was not motivated by feelings of resentment, betrayal, or failure. It was a decision toward one's own development. It is the realization that love, even if it is powerful, does not necessarily imply that one will remain in the same location for the rest of one's life. They lived their lives in accordance with their obligations for a number of years. There was a common objective that was the focus of all of the campaign events, discussions about policies, and speeches. They had been married for a long time. The two of them worked together to create history. Each and every decision that they made had an impact not only on their immediate family, but also on millions of people who were observing from the outside. They had to make adjustments to their private marriage because of politics and the expectations of others. My time spent in the White House also came to an end at that point. Because there was no tight plan, no urgent political task, and no reason to stay together all the time, this was the first time in almost 10 years that any of these things had occurred. The shared responsibility of leading a country, which had been the impetus that kept them together, was no longer present. What was left were two individuals who needed to become aware of themselves without the presence of any other individuals. Initially, they made an effort to adjust. Touring, writing their life stories, and working on the Obama Foundation were all things that they did. Despite the fact that they continued to share interests and care for one another, something had changed between them. As Michelle focused on new endeavors that brought her joy, she engaged in activities such as assisting young women, writing, and working on political campaigns. Through his continued involvement in political leadership, Barack continued to contribute to the development of policies and efforts that supported democracy. Over the course of several years, Michelle made adjustments to her life in order to accommodate Barack's presidency. She served as his support system and assisted him in maintaining his composure while he pursued his dreams. As of this moment, she was pondering, "Who am I if I am not the wife of Barack Obama?" For the sake of a more important cause, she sacrificed a portion of herself. At this point, she desired to retrieve them. She desired the liberty to develop and learn more about herself, apart from the confines of a political relationship. The change was one of a kind regarding Barack. Since he was a young boy, he had a solid interest in politics. There was still a strong desire within him to take the initiative and make a difference in the future. While he applauded Michelle's new course of action, he was moving in a different direction. Even though they continued to have a strong connection with one another and admired one another, it was clear that their futures were no longer aligned with one another as they had been in the past. It was not a snap decision to go in different directions. After having a lot of conversations, giving it a lot of thought, and coming to the realization that love signifies not only holding on, but also knowing when to let go, it came about. Not a single public outburst, controversy, or shouting fights occurred during this time. In the process of creating something truly remarkable, two individuals are coming to the realization that they have evolved and become distinct versions of themselves. The world was taken aback by the moment they parted ways. How could a couple who appeared to be so in control and content decide to end their relationship? To tell you the truth, they never set out to achieve perfection. Honesty served as the foundation for their relationship, and it was honesty that inspired them to make this decision. After a divorce, life can. Throughout a significant portion of her life, Michelle Obama was known by the titles that others bestowed upon her, such as attorney, first lady, and wife of Barack Obama. As a result of the divorce, she was confronted with a significant decision that was no longer seen as part of a powerful pair. It was necessary for her to concentrate on herself, not only as the partner of another person, but also as her own individual. Change was a challenging process. However, Michelle was eager to create her own future, despite the fact that people continued to view her based on her past. For as long as she can remember, she has been concerned about assisting women, advancing education, and enhancing both mental and physical health. Without having to worry about being subjected to political pressure, she was now able to freely explore these locations. Following her separation, One of her primary responsibilities was to continue to serve as the leader of the Obama Foundation. Michelle established her own unique role within the foundation, despite the fact that it was always a collaborative effort. She developed programs for young girls, particularly through her Girls' Opportunity Alliance, with the goal of ensuring that girls living in less privileged areas had access to educational opportunities and skills that would help them become better leaders. Michelle is now recognized on her own, and she makes use of the power she has to bring attention to causes that are significant to her or that she believes in. Her career in public speaking was given a new beginning through her work. As the wife of a former president, she was no longer speaking in that capacity. In her capacity as her own global leader, she was speaking. In her talks, she primarily focused on assisting women in gaining strength, overcoming challenges, and overcoming the challenges of changing who they are. Through the sharing of insights gleaned from her own experiences, she advocated for individuals who were struggling to adapt to change. The fact that Michelle's events were completely sold out in a matter of minutes demonstrates that her popularity extends beyond the confines of her previous position. Her writing also became a means for her to gain insight into who she was as a person. Following the reception that her book, Becoming, received, she went on to publish another book that focuses not only on her history, but also on coping with the unexpected changes that occur in life. After spending a significant amount of time as a member of a well-known couple, she discussed her personal development, the process of discovering her personality, and the process of becoming independent. The book did not discuss divorce in any way. To begin again was the topic at hand. It was able to connect with women who had been through significant changes in their lives, which contributed to its success. The mental and physical well-being of Michelle was another area of focus for her. In the course of her public life, she frequently discussed health, but at this point in her life, she was more committed than she had ever been to the subject. She made time for physical activity, meditation, and spending time with friends who were supportive. Because she was no longer concerned about how her political image would be perceived, she was able to take pleasure in uncomplicated activities such as climbing, traveling, and dancing at public events with a renewed sense of liberty. However, it is impossible to alter the past. Despite this, there was a persistent desire to link her story with Barack's. She responded calmly and redirected the conversation to her future rather than her past when people asked Michelle about her divorce during interviews. People frequently asked her about her divorce. Her narrative was not going to be shaped by a single occurrence. She was more than just a former First Lady to the people. It is not accurate to say that she was merely Barack Obama's ex-wife. She was Michelle Obama, a person, a leader, and someone who brought about change. She passed away in 2013. She made it abundantly clear that she would not withdraw from her involvement in public life. Now, more than ever, she was approaching it with a sense of self-assurance. Because she was no longer required to adhere to political regulations, she was able to speak freely, work on her own time, and choose projects that she enjoyed rather than ones that she was required to complete. Her subsequent major undertaking was to initiate a mentoring and leadership program for young women, with the goal of assisting them in acquiring the skills necessary to establish their own careers. In order to assist young women in becoming leaders by providing them with the resources they required, the program provided resources such as scholarships, training, and personal guidance. The journey that Michelle Obama has taken since her divorce is motivating millions of people, but is the world ready to see her as more than just Barack? What were the reactions of people all over the world to the news that Michelle and Barack had divorced? The information spread, and people all over the world responded to it almost immediately. After only a few minutes, there are a lot of responses posted on the internet. A few individuals are taken aback, others are saddened, and still others are eager to discuss the myriad of reasons that could have led to the separation of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. In addition to being a symbol of unity, strength, and hope for themselves, the Obamas were also a symbol for everyone else. The circumstances surrounding their breakup were now common knowledge, but the tale of their love had been told to others for many years. A story was quickly fabricated by the media. Instead of treating the split as a personal decision, major news outlets treated it as if it were a puzzle that needed to be solved. After leaving office, Barack reportedly became more distant, according to some accounts, while other accounts suggested that Michelle was the one who finally experienced feelings of being overwhelmed. As two people went in different directions, the media had a difficult time presenting the straightforward truth. Drama was more successful in sales. Photographs taken by paparazzi began to be used for the purposes of speculation and guesswork. A photograph of Michelle smiling at an event gave the impression that she had moved on with her life. The serious expression on Barack's face indicated that he was feeling upset about the breakup. The words they spoke, the actions they took, and even the quiet moments they experienced were scrutinized as if they contained secret meanings. Instead of simply taking in the information about what took place, the audience is interested in discovering who is to blame, naming a hero, and creating a villain. It became even more worse on social media. These hashtags, such as Obama divorce, became popular all over the world. Old interviews were posted by users in an effort to discover clues that they might have missed. There was a video clip that was discovered from many years ago that featured Michelle talking about the challenges that come with being married. The subtitles stated that she had been warning us all along. Some individuals were unable to accept the fact that it was true and believed that there must be a more profound explanation, such as dishonesty, a concealed crime, or something else that would explain it. However, it yielded no negative results. Only a just person can be considered a treason. Changing circumstances do not make for an interesting narrative. Both Michelle and Barack chose not to participate in the media frenzy. They made a simple remark, but they did not provide any explanations or reasons for their actions. They were adamant that they was not going to let the world turn their breakup into a comedy. It was because of their silence that people were forced to confront the difficult reality that even the most heartfelt love stories can sometimes end with acceptance rather than sadness. The hope persisted throughout. People desired an open and honest conversation, a reaction that came from the heart, and a moment of vulnerability that was honest. Both Michelle and Barack have spent years developing their ability to handle criticism from the public. Because they did not want their individual decision to be a public spectacle, they did not disclose it to anyone. A look at the impact and the future. The dissolution of Michelle and Barack Obama's marriage was not merely a matter of personal preference. The event became a significant turning point in our culture, prompting individuals to reevaluate their expectations regarding love, long-term relationships, and the manner in which public figures ought to go about their personal lives. It was clear from the reactions to their breakup that many people have the misconception that famous marriages should never come to an end. They believe that the success of a relationship is solely determined by how long it lasts, rather than how good it is. The Obama family has been a symbol of togetherness, strength, and harmony for a considerable amount of time. They were a couple who survived years in the White House without any public scandals, despite being subjected to political pressure and receiving attention from all over the world. As a result, a great number of individuals not only respected their relationship, but also desired to have a relationship similar to theirs. It was difficult for people to accept the fact that even close partners can become estranged from one another after their divorce, which felt like a breach in the idealized concept of love. According to sociologists, the fact that we have such a strong emphasis on love that lasts forever makes it difficult for us to acknowledge that relationships evolve over time. According to Dr. Emily Carter, a psychologist who specializes in the study of marriage and public life, when famous people get divorced, people tend to view it as a failure rather than a change. The relationships that are able to adapt and change, even if it means ending things, are the ones that are thought to be the best. This is a concept that is shared by psychologists. A clinical psychologist by the name of Dr. Anthony Wells is of the opinion that people frequently react negatively to media coverage of famous divorces because it reflects their own fears. People draw parallels between their own romantic relationships and these well-known breakups. They are forced to reconsider the narratives they have crafted about love and long-lasting relationships as a result of this. People wished for the Obamas to remain together, not only for their own sake, but also to lend credence to the idea that genuine love endures. On the other hand, their separation does not lessen the impact they have. Rather, it amplifies it. Michelle Obama and Barack Obama continue to collaborate on their respective jobs, despite the fact that they are no longer in a romantic relationship. The Obama Foundation, which is their primary project after they have left office, is an example of collaborative work. They continue to work toward the goal of assisting young leaders, promoting freedom, and bringing about social change. They are consistent in their attendance at events, in their assistance to one another with their projects, and in their collaboration toward a common objective. The fact that they demonstrate that it is possible to maintain a respectful relationship and work well together after a divorce challenges the notion that separating must inevitably result in a loss of contact. In addition to the fact that they are working together, Michelle is also going through new developments from her own personal future. She has proven to be more than just a former First Lady. Currently, she is a powerful figure all over the world. As a result of the success of Becoming, she has altered the way in which we perceive the transition from being a political leader to becoming a cultural icon. In her upcoming book, she will discuss concepts such as change, discovering oneself, and being strong, offering guidance on how to deal with the unexpected events that occur in life. Her performance in public speaking has significantly improved. During her presentations, she discusses feeling empowered, being a leader, and developing your own personal definition of success with groups. Within the realm of politics, she is no longer on par with Barack. In its place, she has become an independent and powerful leader who motivates millions of people. Additionally, she is a supporter of mentorship programs for young women, with the goal of ensuring that these young women have access to the education, resources, and ties that will enable them to create their own futures. As a component of the Obama Foundation, the Girls' Opportunity Alliance is expanding its efforts to assist young women all over the world who are in need of educational opportunities and leadership development. We appreciate you watching. Please give this a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to receive additional in-depth analyses of major stories. On top of that, make sure you don't forget to click on the next video that appears on your screen.